your daily half-an-hour window that brings you all the latest news and updates from different sporting arenas. In the next half an hour, we're going to bring you everything that you need to know from the world of tennis, badminton and the FIFA awards. Let's quickly begin with top headlines of the hour. In only his second Grand Slam main draw, Sumit Nagal reaches the second round of the Australian Open, defeats a seeded player in Grand Slam after facing tough qualifier rounds. Lionel Messi bags Best FIFA Men's Award, equals Best FIFA Award with his Ballon score of 8 titles. And in women's category, Aitana Bonamati bags the coveted title. And in badminton, India Open Super 750 tournaments gets underway in New Delhi. India's Aegis Pranoy progresses to the second round. So those were the top headlines from the world of sports, and now let's begin with the biggest story of the day that is coming from the world of tennis, especially for the Indian sports fans. So India's Sumit Nagal has created history as he became the first Indian to make it to the second round of the Australian Open after 11 years. The Indian #1 tennis star outclassed 30 worst-seeded Alexander Bublik in straight sets by 6-4, 6-2 and 7-6 to make it into the second round of the prestigious tournament. Staying on the updates from Australian Open, Iga Swiatek defeated former champion Sofia Kenin in her first round match, securing a 7-6, 6-2 victory at the Australian Open on Tuesday. In a rematch of the 2020 French Open final, Swiatek was pushed to her limits by the 41-ranked Kenin. Now, despite a strong start from the American, who displayed confidence that led her to win her only Grand Slam title 4 years ago, Swiatek showcased her problem-solving skills and resilience to storm into the second round. On the other hand, 11th-seeded Casper Ruud advanced to the second round of the Australian Open, beating Spaniard Albert Ramos winners by 6-1, 6-3 and 6-1 at Melbourne Park on Tuesday. Ruud will next play the Australian player Max Purcell. In a major shock, making her return to top-flight tennis after being away for 15 months on maternity leave, Japan's Naomi Osaka crashed out of the Australian Open on Monday. The former two-time Australian Open winner lost in straight sets to Caroline Garcia by 4-6, 6-7 at the Rod Laver Arena in the first round. Now entering the competition with just 2 weeks of training, Osaka faced a stern challenge from the French star and 6th-seeded Garcia, who, much like Naomi Osaka, is also strong on the baseline. Osaka's much-awaited and talked about return did not reap enough rewards as she bowed out sluggishly. 7th-seed Felix Auger-Aliassime lit up the evening session on day 2 of the Australian Open as he overcame a spirited former US Open champion Dominic Thiem in the longest match of his career that lasted for nearly 5 hours at the Margaret Court Arena on Monday. The Canadian showcased resilience and skills to fend off Thiem's spirited comeback, ultimately securing victory with a scoreline of 6-3, 7-5, 6-7, 5-7 and 6-3. Now, this victory added to Thiem's recent struggles at Grand Slams, where he has experienced a series of first-round exits since making it to the 4th round of the 2021 Australian Open. Ons Jabeur, on the other hand, swept into the second round of the Australian Open with a comprehensive 6-3, 6-1 victory against Ukrainian qualifier Yulia Starbuzova on Monday. The Tunisian 6th seed, a 3-time Grand Slam runners-up, was not at her best but had too much firepower for her 23-year-old opponent, who was making her debut in the majors. And world number 9, Poland's Hubert Hurkacz made it to the second round, defeating Omar Jessica by 7-6, 6-4 and 6-2 in his first round of the match. Hurkacz will face qualifier Jakub Mensik in the next round. And Alex de Minaur also secured his place in the second round despite a scare on Monday night. Australia's top-ranked player prevailed on Rod Laver Arena against Milos Raonic after the Canadian was forced to withdraw due to a leg injury, with the match that finally poised at 1-set-all with de Minaur by 2-0 up in the third. The Australian player said it was not the way he wanted to go through, but this has given the way that he recovered after losing the first set on a tiebreaker, and he feels that he can still take something from the match. Now in Sports Buzz, let's talk about the second big update of the day. Argentina superstar Lionel Messi bagged the best FIFA Men's Player award for the third time in the last 4 years, edging past Norwegian striker Erling Haaland in a closely contested race. Now, Spain and Barcelona striker Aitona Bonmatí also walked away with the best FIFA Women's Player at the Best FIFA Awards in a star-studded ceremony at London. Here's a report that tells you more about that.
Global soccer icon and Argentine Lionel Messi retained the FIFA Men's Player of the Year trophy, beating Manchester City's treble-winning Norwegian striker Erling Haaland and France Paris Saint-Germain forward Kylian Mbappe. Messi, who also secured the men's award in 2022 after guiding Argentina to World Cup victory, clinched the League One title with PSG alongside Mbappe following that success. He also helped Inter Miami win the League's Cup in his inaugural season in Major League Soccer. Messi edged Haaland in tiebreaker after both were on 48 points each after voting by a global panel of national team coaches and captains, selected journalists plus fans online. The tiebreaker was whoever had more first place or 5-point scores from the votes of national team captains. That category was 107-64 for the Inter Miami forward. However, Messi was not present to collect the trophy.
And now let's go across to Meghalaya, where our President of India is speaking.
Tin Sangji, Minister of Tourism, Government of Meghalaya, Sri Paul Lingdoji, Minister of Health, Srimati Amparing Lingdoji, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear lovely children. I am happy to meet tribal brothers and sisters of Meghalaya gathered here in large numbers. I was really looking forward to interact with you. When I landed in Meghalaya, I experienced that this state is indeed uniquely blessed by Mother Nature. I am told that the Moflang Sacred Grove is home to the most celebrated of Meghalaya's Longkingtang or ancient sacred groves. This forest, aged more than 700 years, has attracted many visitors, tourists, and researchers from around the globe. They admire the wisdom of our forefathers who understood and used this traditional concept of conserving nature. We all should make serious efforts to preserve this kind of forest, which is a treasure house of biodiversity. I am happy to know that Meghalaya has been making a determined effort to emerge as a model state and offering a balanced approach to modernity and tradition. With good FDI inflows, high efforts, and a dynamic demography, Meghalaya is emerging as a growth leader and offers an inspiring story. Local produce such as Lakadong turmeric and strawberries are high in demand. I have been told that e-proposal scheme system of the government of Meghalaya has won the coveted UN Award World Summit on the Information Society Forum Prize in 2022. I congratulate the government and residents of Meghalaya for this achievement. The government has made significant conservation efforts to ensure that biodiversity is maintained. I have been told that the Green Meghalaya initiative has been launched, through which the communities are rewarded for preserving and protecting the natural cover. Ladies and gentlemen, I have inaugurated various connectivities related and today. I am confident that these projects will improve connectivity and will enable Meghalaya to move ahead on the path of sustainable and inclusive development. Since time immemorial, tribal people has been the vanguard of environmental conservation based on indigenous knowledge, culture, and religious beliefs. Tribal practices can be good case studies of how there can be a symbiotic relationship between human beings and nature. Meghalayan people believe that Ubasa, or goddess, dwells among lush green forests. I have said earlier also that this concept of worshiping nature as a divine gift has played a significant role in conservation efforts. Tribal lifestyle contributes to the promotion of natural and national goals of biodiversity conservation and maintaining the ecological balance. Ladies and gentlemen, today I interacted with the self-help groups here in Meghalaya. Women have played a significant role in the success of self-help groups and value chain addition. It is inspiring to see that women are not just passive beneficiaries but active agents of change. I also want to highlight the role of women in conservation and climate action efforts. It is well documented that women are at the heart of the conservation efforts. Women in tribal societies have been showing the way in protecting the environment and sharing their wisdom and skills to enhance adaptation and mitigation. By increasing the participation of women in climate initiatives and decision-making processes, more can be done for active climate action and biodiversity conservation. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to ensure that our heritage is not lost. Therefore, we also need to document local practices for effective conservation and management. Traditional Knowledge Digital Library is a good initiative of the Government of India to protect traditional knowledge in medicines. I am sure that by adopting a comprehensive and holistic approach of sustainable development and learning from our ancient wisdom, we can together address various challenges and preserve this beautiful planet with all its natural bounties for the future generation. Thank you. Kublai. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
All right, so those are the visuals from Meghalaya, where President of India was speaking about prosperous Meghalaya and how Meghalaya is continuously making giant strides in developing India. Now, continuing with Sports Pass, it's time to take a quick and short break, but still to come on Sports Pass. Indian women's hockey team all set to play against Italy in run-up to Paris Olympics 2024 qualification spot. And Rafael Nadal has been named as the ambassador of the Saudi Tennis Federation.
Voice of a rising aspirational world. Stories of challenges, struggles and accomplishment. A world battling conflict, hunger and poverty. Embracing growth, development, science and technology. A voice of progress, a voice of unity. Watch Voice of the Global South with me, Akshay Dongre, only on DD India. Voice of a rising aspirational world. Stories of challenges, struggles and accomplishment. A world battling conflict, hunger and poverty. Embracing growth, development, science and technology. A voice of progress, a voice of unity. Watch Voice of the Global South with me, Akshay Dongre, only on DD India.
Welcome back after that short break. You're watching Sports Pass with me, Deepika. And now let's get you the latest from the world of badminton. India's star shuttler HS Pranoy progressed to the second round of the ongoing India Open with a straight game victory over Chao Tian Chen of Chinese Taipei. The world number 9 Indian dished out a compact game to outwit Chen, who's ranked 13th, by 21-6 and 21-19 in a 42-minute clash. HS Pranoy will now face fellow Indian P. Rajawat. And in women's hockey, where Olympic qualifiers race is currently on, the Indian women's hockey team is all set to take on Italy in their final group game today in the race for the qualification spot at the upcoming Paris Olympics. India have won one game and lost one under their belt till now, and they currently stand third in a 4-team pool. Now on Sunday, India registered a 3-1 victory against New Zealand in their second Pool B match. A victory will only be useful if other results lean India's way, and with New Zealand taking on the USA in other game, it just might come down to a goal difference, making both of them getting maximum goals and denying any one to the crucial opposition. Now, 22nd time Grand Slam champion Rafael Nadal have been roped in as the ambassador of Saudi Tennis Federation. The Spaniard, whose role will be there to spend time each year in the Desert Kingdom to help train children and grow their interest in the sport, believes that there are big opportunities to grow tennis there in Saudi Arabia.
Spanish tennis icon Rafael Nadal has been named an ambassador of the Saudi Tennis Federation as the Gulf Kingdom aims to host more professional tournaments as part of a broader sports push. The Saudi Sports Authority also said plans are being developed to create a new Rafael Nadal Academy in the Middle Eastern country that would train young players. In December, Nadal surprised young players when he visited a junior tennis clinic in Riyadh. The tennis great said his goal is to promote tennis throughout Saudi Arabia and encourage younger generations of Saudis to pick up the racket.
Today is about opportunities for the new generation. For me, the goal is to promote tennis all around the country and to create the infrastructure to create players growing with very positive values, education, with a team spirit, to have the possibility to practice the sport in the best way possible.
The Spaniard further said that he hopes that the country achieves the goals that they want.
It's a big opportunity to develop important things in a country that has the potential to grow, a country that is opening and is investing a lot in a sport. No? And I mean, I really hope that we can achieve the goals that the country wants. No? I mean, probably the biggest goal is to encourage more and more the people, and especially the younger generations, to practice the sport. No, I think grow practicing a sport, in that case tennis, but the sport in general, I think, has a lot of positive things.
Nadal's venture comes as his playing future remains in doubt. He is currently sitting out of the Australian Open after suffering a small muscle tear during his comeback from a long injury layoff at the Brisbane International. The 22 times Grand Slam champion made his long-awaited return to competitive tennis in Brisbane after spending almost a year out on the sidelines with a hip flexor injury sustained during his second round defeat to Mackenzie McDonald in last year's Australian Open. Nadal had previously said there was a high percentage that 2024 would be his farewell to the tour.
Moving on in Sports Buzz, now let's get you all the updates from the world of soccer. Well, AS Roma have parted ways with manager Jose Mourinho. Mourinho, who's coached a host of top European clubs including Porto, Chelsea, Inter Milan, Real Madrid and Manchester United, was appointed the coach of Roma back in the year 2021. And under the Portuguese manager, Roma won the third-tier Europa Conference League in 2022. Roma are currently 9th in the league after Sunday's 3-1 loss to AC Milan and have struggled to overcome the loss of key players due to injuries, including striker Paulo Dybala. Sarina Wiegman has extended her contract as England women's coach and will remain in charge of the team for the 2027 Women's World Cup. Wiegman led the team to their first major trophy at the 2022 European Championship and to the final of last year's Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand, where they finished as runners-up to Spain. The Dutch women's new deal will also see her lead the team in the defence of their Euros title in the year 2025. Now, qualification for the 2025 Euros begin in the month of April this year. And Everton and Nottingham Forest, they now face new cases of alleged breaches of the Premier League's financial rules. Now, both the clubs have been referred to an independent commission for alleged breaches of profit and sustainability rules in their accounts for 2022 and 23. Under Premier League regulations, clubs can lose a maximum of €105 million over a 3-season period or $35 million per campaign before facing sanctions. Now, clubs that breach those rules are at a risk of a fine or a points deduction as well. Now, Everton are currently appealing against a 10-point deduction from a previous charge. The Premier League had 14 days from the reporting date to inform the clubs whether they were in breach or not. Staying on soccer, Sevilla announced the signing of Tunisian international midfielder Hannibal Mejbri on loan from Manchester United on Monday. The 20-year-old had opted out of playing for his country at the Africa Cup of Nations to secure his club's future. Now, according to media reports, the deal includes an option to buy at the end of the season for $21.89 million, with United also inserting a $38.31 million buyback clause, which is valid until the year 2026. Now, he also appeared 13 times before the Red Devils since making his debut in 2021 and spent last season on loan with champion side Birmingham City. He's also represented his country at the 2022 World Cup and their 2021 Arab Cup runners-up campaign, where he was twice, have been named as man of the match. Moving on in Sports Buzz, now let's get you updates from F1 tracks. Mercedes Formula One team boss and co-owner Toto Wolff has signed a 3-year deal to lead the former world champions into the sport's new engine era in 2026. Wolff, who owns a third of Mercedes F1, said that he has extended his contract until the end of 2026. Wolff has been with Mercedes since January 2013. Now, Mercedes won 8 constructors' titles in 8 seasons between 2014 and 2021 and finished second behind Red Bull in 2023. And with this, it's a wrap here on Sports Buzz for now, but news and updates will continue here on DD India. So don't go anywhere. Keep watching and keep tracking DD India for all latest news and updates from the country and the world. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Namaskar.